What's up, San Antonio? It's your girl JJ going live on Facebook during this COVID-19 year. I'm going to be talking a little bit about sports, music, things going on in San Antonio, and even a special guest or two may pop in. Feel free to share, comment throughout the show, and I hope you enjoy.
What's going on, everybody? It is great to be back online with you guys. I have missed you guys so much. I hope everybody's doing good out there in the podcast world. Whether you're tuning in on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, whatever podcasts you listen to, thank you so much for listening to King's Court with JJ. I am glued to my new device, my Apple TV. My sister Allie got me hooked, and I just think it has some pretty cool features on it. But I bought Apple TV, and I have just been exploring with it. From everything to Disney, to Hulu, to Netflix, everything's on there. I don't have to play anything through my PlayStation 4 anymore. I can just do it at the palm of my hand with the Apple TV. And Apple TV brought me something pretty cool. And the Oprah Conversations. If you have not seen them, you have to tune in. Oprah is back to being Oprah. I remember many years ago, I would watch Oprah 4 o'clock San Antonio time on a regular basis. And now she is back with the Oprah Conversations. This is season 1. And she has like 5 episodes out. And of course, the 5th one, 5-time Grammy winner, 15-time Billboard Award winner, and 7-time MTV Music Award winner, Miss Mariah Carey. For those of you who know me, know I'm a huge fan of Mariah Carey. And I couldn't be more excited for the fact that Mariah Carey has a book coming out, The Meaning of Mariah, and has an actual sit-down with Oprah on the Oprah Conversation show. Oprah actually interviewed Mariah Carey over 30 years ago. It was the first time Mariah was on the Oprah show at the age of 21. This is the 10th interview that Oprah has done with Mariah Carey, and boy, does it give us the juice. From her marriages to her family life with her mom and her sister and her brother, and of course her dad, the biracial family. You know, it talks about in her book about how they kind of sold her out and how they almost had her committed to a state hospital and how they had her arrested. And it's just pretty crazy to kind of listen to that whole childhood and upbringing of Mariah Carey. And it makes you finally realize where these songs come from. As a Mariah Carey fan, I'm a huge, huge fan. Mariah has always called her fans her lambs. And I've had the opportunity to meet Mariah and get a few autographs and stuff. So I think it's been pretty cool over the years that I've just kind of seen Mariah's career kind of change. I will not talk about the New Year's Eve debacle, but I'm still a Mariah Carey fan no matter what. Her just, accolades of awards, goes to show she's, sold over 200 million albums. She's been number 1 on the Billboard charts for the past 4 decades. She's had 19 number 1 hits, and she's one shy of the Beatles. I mean, come on. Not even Michael Jackson is up there, or maybe he is. I don't know. But, this book really, really talks about her relationship with her mom. And like I said, how her mom had her arrested in the house that she bought her mom and taken away in handcuffs. And talks about marriage to CEO Tommy Mottola, which she met when she was 18 years old. 6 years later, they got married 1993. Talks about how he was very controlling and so forth. And she actually divorced him in 1998. But I remember they had one of the most epic weddings of all time. People like Barbra Streisand, Billy Joel, just to name a few, attended. And it was like an over-the-top wedding, even as Oprah described it. She wore this crazy long dress. I think it was made from like Vera Wang or something. And it was just unbelievable. She talks about her relationship with Derek Jeter. And that, I was always hoping that they would get married. I'm a huge Derek Jeter fan, obviously, the Yankees baseball. But she talks about DJ in her book a little bit. and how he was a catalyst for her relationship with Tommy Mottola. And obviously, she finally named, you know, the song that she actually wrote for Derek Jeter, which is called The Roof, if you ever listen to it. Um, you know, he kind of gave her new hope to life. And I, to me, you know, the way even Oprah's describing it, obviously the book's not out yet. It comes out September 29th. But, you know, the way Oprah starts kind of describing this relationship with her and Derek Jeter was that was the first time she was really in love with somebody. She wasn't really in love with Tommy Mottola, so to speak, but I think she was more in love with Derek Jeter. And wow, if they only would have kind of gotten together a little bit better, maybe gotten married, had kids, holy moly. I would have been super excited, by the way, but obviously it didn't happen. She married Nick Cannon, who, you know, she met in 2008, actually. They were together for like 6 weeks and they got married in the Bahamas. And they got a divorce actually in 2014. Her music's amazing. She's wrote some pretty cool songs, collaborated with tons of artists. Boys to Men, Debrat, Jermaine Dupri, Whitney Houston. I was more excited towards the end because we all know All I Want for Christmas, Mariah Carey's #1 Christmas hit. Apple TV and Mariah Carey are teaming up with this special for this coming Christmas. And I have to tell you, I'm sorry, this pandemic has got me going crazy, but I am so looking forward to Christmas. More so this special that Mariah Carey has in the works. You know, I think it was like 2000, maybe it was later than that, maybe 1995, 96, Mariah Carey did the All I Want for Christmas CD, and it's still the top selling Christmas album of all time. And to know that she's going to do this special concert again, I'm super excited for this concert. I'm super excited for Christmas. I don't know about y'all, but I want to get to kind of the holidays, so maybe we can see our families and kind of spend time together. Hopefully by then we'll be a little more loose on the restrictions, but you know, Christmas, I can't wait. I think I'm just you know, kind of getting excited for, just want to get excited for something, and that is definitely one thing, is Christmas. And to know that Mariah freaking Carey is going to have another Christmas special, super excited. Obviously this book that I'm talking about is coming out September 29th, Tuesday. So make sure you check that out. You can check it out on Apple TV with the Oprah Conversation. Get all the details of the book, or you can buy it on Apple Books. You can obviously Barnes & Noble, whatever. Pre-order September 29th. It comes out. That is one book I'm going to add to my collection, I promise you. And I can't wait. Well, we finally now know who is going to the NBA Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Miami Heat. I know Kobe is looking down on his former team and probably couldn't be more happier. Lakers beat the Denver Nuggets 4-1 in the Western Conference Finals. LeBron James returning to the NBA Finals for the 10th time in his career. Miami, of course, took care of the Boston Celtics 4-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. Of course, I had picked Boston to go to the finals, and I really wanted to see the matchup of the Lakers versus the Celtics once again. But Miami is a team that have played some great basketball while in the bubble, so to speak. Plus, you know, seeing LeBron's return to Miami, obviously not real return to Miami, but seeing him play against his former team, you know, this should be really fun to watch. He knows the coach. He knows some of the players on the team. Obviously, some have changed. Of course, Jimmy Butler was not there before. But, you know, it's just going to be a whole new NBA Finals, something to kind of get excited for. Obviously, people from San Antonio probably wanted to see the Spurs. But, hey, Lakers, Miami, what a better way to end the basketball season. Of course, Game 1 starts September 30th. Game 2, October 2nd. Game 3, October 4th. Game 4, October 6th. Game 5, October 9th. Game 6, on the 11th of October, and of course, Game 7, if necessary, October 13th. I think it's going to go 7 games, but, who knows? We shall see. Thank you so much for listening to King's Court with JJ. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook or Instagram, King's Court with JJ. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. And be safe, everyone. Thanks for listening.